Hey everybody, this is Tony and I'm here today with a special guest, none other than Miss Melba Moore. How you doing today?
Fantastic. Thank you for having me, Tony.
Oh, of course. It's nothing like having a legend like yourself be on and speak with me. Of course, Miss Moore, you had a decades-long career with an S. Uh, but now you got some new music, I understand. The single I'm Just Doing Me.
No, no, no,
No.
just doing me because there is an I'm just doing me.
Okay, okay.
Well, I'm just doing me.
Okay. Oh man, but yeah, I did listen to the single. I love the single though. It's upbeat, it's fun, it's lively. I love that. So tell me about how this came about, this particular single.
Oh, okay. Well, have you listened to it too many times yet, or just once?
Probably about a few. I think about 3 or 4.
Okay, good. Then you will probably notice there's a wonderful keyboardist on there.
Yeah.
You hear the piano part, you hear the band part, you hear the arrangement part, you hear the background singers, you hear the arrangement.
Yeah.
That's George Pettis.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because people say, Miss Moore, how did you come up with this? I don't play the piano anymore. And so when someone does very well and they compose something for you, it's very special. It's like, and they make it really right. It's like you wrote it for yourself.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's so comfortable and it's so me. But you know, it's just the people who are buying it who may not know me at all. So
that's right. That's right.
Important. So and the lyrics were written by George's wife. Her name is Angela Pettis.
Okay.
And when we did this like over a year ago.
Okay.
Probably more than that now because we've been shut down for a year.
Right, right.
So time is kind of slipping by here. And so by the time it was, it was remixed then by Terry Hunter. Do you know who that is?
I heard of Terry Hunter before.
Well, Terry Hunter is very, 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 very big as a DJ because, as you know, they have these huge thousands of followers.
Yes.
So if they take your music and do a mix on it, you kind of get their follow.
Right.
That's very important. But these days also, and back in my day, when we started DJs, they just played the records.
Right.
But now they are musicians.
Oh, yeah.
And they're also entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. They create these genres, not just of music, but how they're formatted, how they're marketed, how they get out. How come they're global? I mean, we used to go like a door-to-door salesman.
Yeah.
But because I have Terry Hunter and I have George Pettis, they both have huge platforms, yeah. Formats. Yeah. So whatever format and whatever following I have is joined with theirs in terms of my getting my music to the public. That's extremely important because before you had the record company, they invested lots of money and record promotion people and marketing people. They did parties and all kinds of things to get your music exposed to people. Right. But people like Terry Hunter and George Pettis not only write the music and create the genre, but they market it. So actually it's on Terry Hunter's label.
Okay.
So he's the label this time.
Okay.
All of these things are very, very key, important things as to the difference in how things are done these days.
Yes. Well. Yes, absolutely.
So that's how I came up with all this. They did it.
I think that's awesome, though. You know, at least we know somebody's still working during the midst of this, which is.
And I'm also saying thank you.
Yes.
If I had to do it by myself, maybe I would be unemployed, you know.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? I did notice. I don't want to say resurgence necessarily, but you being talked about and listened to a lot on account of different DJs like D Nice with Club Quarantine and a few others online as well. So how does that feel for you, knowing that a new audience might be picking up on that stuff?
Might be.
Well, they are. Let me change that.
I mean, with D Nice, are you joking?
Right.
I bet you if I didn't, I know who he is now.
I know that's right.
Because he, first of all, with his creativity, but he already had a huge following and he was very, very successful.
Yes.
And it was in what somebody like me might have thought was a genre of music, but I had no idea how continually it was building, starting underground, but many, many decades now.
Yes.
To have its own lane.
Mm-hmm.
So that when he grew up on my music, and I turned out to be one of his favorite artists of his past, he broke me into the new COVID era.
Yes.
That's what we have now.
Yes.
And he did it in such a, creative entertainment business type of way, but he's a hero. Mm-hmm. What he did was he used his entree, his audience and his creativity and the lockdown, the shutdown, to come to the aid of places where we were suffering voter suppression.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, he made it black. I mean, because of Donald Trump, our issues have become even more desperate because we can't believe this is still going on. Yeah. Slavery is supposed to be over.
That's right. That's right. But we still.
And thanks to people like D Nice,
yes,
it's finna be over.
That's right. That's right. But I appreciate the fact that, our people are so innovative in what we do. That we just find ways to come out of things no matter what. And I respect him so much, along as well as the other that might play you as well, because, people my age are normally saying, pull out this person's record or pull out that person's record, they normally listen to what's current. But for me, it was like already home because I listened to that kind of stuff. But he really helped bring in the younger people, and even some of the older people say, oh, I remember that. Oh, I used to dance to that song at the club or whatever the case may be, So I really...
what he did was create bridges where the record industry was creating gaps and separating. After you get a certain age, or if you're a certain demographic, or if you're a certain culture, we would throw you away.
Yeah.
No. You know what? We're family.
That's right.
And so, we have a nostalgia or an empathy for certain things that have been a part of our lives, regardless of where they've come from, and they should be united. And because we have such a huge format in the internet, there's room for everybody. You don't have to throw anything away.
Yeah.
And if you have a sense of organization, everybody can have their place and nobody's cut off, and you can connect with whom you want to. You can still be in control of yourself if you want to. So I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. It's awesome to see just the different ways and, things can work. We got shut down, of course, and people can't go outside like that and, restrictions, different areas, but we still are online finding different ways to connect and talk and share music and, just that kind of thing. I'm just like, wow. So you never know what could happen until it happens.
I like your expression. Wow.
Wow. That's
you
it.
Never know what can happen until it happens.
That's
yes. Yes.
That's it. But, I appreciate you still using your voice as a beacon of light for us in that way. You always have shed light and talked about different things and issues, as well as recorded songs that help people just really feel good. A catalog that is unmatched, I would personally say. And a voice that is unmatched still to this day, because you hit some of these notes that I'm just like, how do you even get there? is what I have to say, but it's amazing that you are blessed so much to have a voice like yours and still be able to touch people. So how is that for you now in this day and age to be able to still touch people with your voice?
Well, I'm certainly old enough to be really grateful and look at how it has to be cared for now.
Yes.
Because sometimes you have to find new normals.
Right.
And just like when you were an infant and you had breast milk,
mm-hmm.
you couldn't eat the same thing when you were a toddler.
That's right.
Well, now that I'm a senior, I can't eat like I'm 15. And that's true. And well, I'm a born again Christian, so you got to remember who's in charge.
Right.
And ask him, okay, how does this work now? I know how it worked 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
How does it work now? And keep being a student, and then you'll find out if the voice is not working, or you're maybe subject to something that's, and the air is really, really dangerous now. Yes. And you have to wear your mask. But if your immune system is not strong, you'll still catch something. That's why especially seniors have to be careful of underlying matters that mess with your immune system. Yes. So I know, like, from a child, I had asthma. Now, as a senior, I realized most of that was from what you ate in the dirty air.
Yep, that's true.
And don't go to the doctor, because they give you some pharmaceuticals that'll kill you. I'm hearing on TV some commercials for new drugs to counteract the drugs you've been taking for some, depression or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they're giving you side effects that are long term affecting you. Then you got to take another drug to do that. So I'm so glad I'm born again, because this has come to me first.
Yeah. And
one of the first things he said is, okay, you're born again. I am your food. You know what I mean? You got to take communion.
That's right.
And you got to pay attention to me. You got to stop everything and make me first. And he starts to tell you about nutrition, mm-hmm. and what he's blessed for you to eat. And that one size don't fit all, and you can't eat the same food for your whole life. You're going to have to, he says, I'm doing a new thing. That means, mm-hmm. you're a new creature. You're not going to function now like you did before. Mm-hmm. So come and look at the manual again and see what you do. So, like, for instance, I eat a lot of fish now, and I know this is good pretty much for everybody unless they have an allergy.
Yes.
I don't fry it. We Black people love some grease, but it don't like us.
That's right. Especially, look, we love to have fish fries and everything.
I love them, but they don't like me.
Yeah.
I'm learning. Don't love somebody that don't love you, okay? So I use olive oil to bless myself. All right?
Yes.
I don't eat it no more. Lots and lots of greens.
Yes.
Something you can get real quick and easy, like a spring mix. Mm-hmm. All those different mixes. And then if you want to, like, if you steam some fish or grill it or something, and then throw the salad mix in there, and it'd be some like greens. We like greens.
Okay? Yeah. I know about greens.
Greens are very, very, very good for you. They're very give you fresh oxygen. They clean you. They give you nutrition, and they don't put no weight on you, because you don't need to be overweight, because You're carrying toxins around with you. Going to make you sick, and they'll give you inflammation. That's why we got so much arthritis and so much. It's inflammation in different areas of your body, where, depending on where it is, it'll make you sick. We have so much like kidney problems and or organ problems, because our food really should cleanse us out. I'm discovering from my daughter that just fresh celery, mm-hmm. and you put it in the blender. That don't take secret magnesia to eat celery.
That's right.
Because he'll do the job without damaging the organs. It's a lot of different things like that. Every once in a while, I'm just partying because I can't eat ice cream anymore because of the dairy. But I'll try to drink plenty spring, water.
Yes.
Because you can't trust the water that comes from your tap anymore.
Right.
Okay.
It's not how it was a long time ago, because before, you would go outside and drink from the water hose when you played out. But now,
if you had a well or something, don't do that. Don't do that now. And I try to drink it room temperature. I love it ice cold, but it's really better for you, room temperature, or warm, maybe with some honey and lemon. If you want something sweet, because you don't need the refined sugar, that's what's giving everybody diabetes and inflammation of all different areas of your body, so that we're getting sick and dying before we should.
Yeah.
But he wants you to eat his flesh and blood. That's first of all.
Right.
And then you go from there so that you embody him. I feel like he's telling us, this is how I'm here in this realm physically.
That's right.
I've already come back.
That's right.
I'm in you now.
Mm.
And if you do what I tell you, and if I tell you to do something, I'll enable you to do it.
That's right.
Then you're going to show my glory, and you'll find out what I want you to be and what you want you to do. And people will love what you do because you're doing me. And they'll be doing themselves.
Yeah.
And we'll be reflecting each other. You know, it's not about me.
Right.
I like the way T.D. Jakes says, he says, it's not about you, boo.
Oh, man.
You become what you can pass on.
Right, right. I'm glad you said that though, because that's something I was just talking about in my own household with my mother and you know, family members. Latasha Scott from Escape, she wrote she did a cookbook. She's vegan. And I bought the book. You know, I'm not vegan, but I said, you know, we ought to try some of these things, you know, because sometimes we just listen to what people say and we don't really know what something is. Yeah. And it's like, we listen to people say they're vegan or vegetarian. You're like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I can't do this. And it's like, you can, because some of it you're doing already. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
So that's something that we are definitely trying to work on and incorporate things like that, because it's so important. Your body is your temple. You have to take care of it. So, or it won't take care of you.
And then you can't take care of anybody else, even if you have a good heart. And one size does not fit all. You have to try things and investigate them, because I know I tried to be vegan, but it doesn't give me any stamina. Yeah. So I'll be trying to hit the notes and I take this deep breath and then hyperventilate and pass out. I had to have some flesh.
Okay.
But as you know, that's for me. For someone else, it's totally different. So you have to investigate for yourself.
Right. But of course, though, let's talk about some more music. You know, of course, we talked about the single already, and I think you put out, the last album you put out was a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Are you continuously working on singles or anything right now as well?
Yes. Two more that I put out. One is called Solo Tiempo, with time, only with time. That's one that's coming out with a group of artists, a group called Crack of Dawn.
Okay.
And then there was another single that I just didn't put out. There's getting to be so many, I can't remember them all, but I'm getting ready to go into the studio on Tuesday and do a song called Free. And that's just straight out gospel.
All right, now. That's what I'm talking about.
We'll try to find a place to hoop and holler a little bit.
You got to get it out some kind of way. You got to get it out. But what I respect about your music and your catalog, though, honestly, is that you always, you didn't let people put you in a box, and you've touched all kind of genres, from from gospel to R&B to pop to country to rock, or you pretty much touch everything. But for you, why was that so important? I know as a woman, you came from stage work and singing, of course. But why was that so important for you to not be put in a box and touch everything?
Well, it's not so much that I didn't want to be boxed in. I was trying to find out what could I do that people would relate to and buy, so I could have a career. And in doing this, I'm discovering I'm very diverse.
Yes.
And as I tried to do things by yourself, you need people you raise the funds for a recording or for a project. You need them to support it marketing wise. And every time you need a manager, you need agents. And every time I would try to find someone, they would tell me, oh, she can't do this, she can't. And I had already did it.
Right.
So over the years of just continuing to try, I now have a huge catalog that's very diverse.
Right. Yeah, and I think that really sets you apart from a lot of people, because we can look at a lot of legends and singers, but a lot of them don't have a diverse catalog like you do.
You know why?
Why? Because
they already knew what they was doing from the beginning. They had They didn't have to keep searching. I literally did not. And
No.
actually, I don't think I had a definitive style. Even these high, long notes, they weren't always there. So
Right.
I've always been like a work in progress. I remember in the beginning, especially like during the time when I did Pearly, which I got a Tony Award for.
Right.
It was only my second play, and I didn't study acting, so God just had his hand on me. But I could sing very high and very long. But now that I'm older, the vocal cords are thicker. Now I have a bottom too.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm a late developer in some ways. Most people, I mean, by the time they're at least in their 20s or 30s, the voice is fully developed.
Right.
And especially a lot of times, if that's already happened and you have so much success and nobody's taught you any differently, you don't keep trying to develop it. So by the time you get to be 50 or 60, you start to lose it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you think it's over.
That's true.
I'm just getting my high low notes now, and I'm a senior citizen.
I heard you talking about that before too, and you talked about how artists normally lose their top register once they get older, which is true. But you still have yours, and you in fact still hold the notes pretty much the same as the record on a lot of the
No, they're longer and higher.
Well, there you go.
But also lower now, because I have a lower range. It's continuing to grow. One of the things I guess I found out, now this may not be true of all singers,
Okay.
but I think of many singers, the vocal cords could continue to develop and grow and be used longer if we knew more about really how they work. It's not like you're a basketball player and you wore your knee. It doesn't quite work like that, or it doesn't have to. But it requires different food. It requires a different lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It requires developing the, what do they call them? The whistle notes?
Yeah.
The Mariah Carey notes.
Right, right.
Well, it requires you learning how your voice functions by experimenting. It requires you to go on explorations about how your mechanism is made and starting to develop your own technique.
Mm-hmm.
Not just look for somebody to teach you. Like the Bible says, it's time for you to be teaching somebody else now.
That's right. That's right. But you know what? A lot of people don't take the time. I mean, well, people now, I say, don't take the time to actually learn that kind of stuff and learn, your voice and what it is that you excel in. It's almost like I'm saying this one thing and that's it. So,
well, I guess because in some ways, some of us at least had to work to get to the point where you could get somebody to get you into a system where you could make a living out of it. Right. If you can just do that and you can do it yourself,
yeah,
you might be prone to skip all the rest of it.
Right. At any point though, did you have a vocal coach to help you out at any point?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
First vocal coach was my mother. She was a professional singer.
Yes,
she was
yes.
She was a single parent. But when she married, it's in my genes, my natural father was a band leader and musician. His name is Teddy Hill. And
your father, who you call now, is Mr. Clem Mormon.
Yes, he was a piano player and a father, and he had a son and a daughter. So I also had siblings then, and he made us learn how to play the piano. So I started to get intimately acquainted with learning how to read music, spending time with songs, the whole intimacy of being involved with music. And my mother and stepfather they first had a duo, but then they expanded it into a trio and a band, 4-piece band, and they rehearsed in the home. So we actually saw musicianship going on in our living room, in our home. And so, and of course, like most families, especially Black families, you're all going to have parties and everybody's going to sing and play the piano or play the ukulele or saxophone. Music is going to be the center.
That's right.
Of your life. And you ain't in no party unless there's some music.
That's right.
I mean, even if it's a record player, you're going to have music. So I think it just soaked into me, and I saw, and I guess I'm thinking too, my early childhood was very sad and lonely and disjointed. And because the family was dismantled because of our being brought here as slaves and always, okay, we come from the South. You know the story.
Yeah.
Start again, you got a baby, you ain't got no husband, the families broke up.
Right.
Now the family's together. I got siblings to play with. There's joy. There's a whole lot of different things. So by the time I get to like, it's time to go to high school, I said, oh my God, I don't want to go to no normal high school. I want to major in music. So then I auditioned for and got into Arts High in Newark, New Jersey, where I majored in vocal music.
Okay.
So I then had vocal coaches in high school. From then on, I had vocal coaches. I'll put it that way.
So you were already being prepared.
And then, of course, I majored in vocal music in Montclair University in music education. So then I taught vocal music.
Right.
And then I had great vocal teachers after that. I knew to do that. I was getting vocal coaching, yeah.
All right. Now, of course, like you said, when you were growing up, how your childhood was, did you really ever see yourself at this point or at this stage, with a career like yours? Had you ever imagined that?
I didn't have a clue what it was, but I tell you what, this is very important, and I'm so excited. The lady, see, my mother was gone all the time because she was a singer. They traveled, you travel with bands and stuff. So the person who raised me, her name was, I can't remember her middle name, but her name was Lula Hawkins. Okay. Anyway, she was orphaned. She was illiterate. She was a cotton and tobacco chopper. She was a domestic, a traveling domestic. She didn't have a family.
Right.
Wherever she was, that was her family. That was my mother. She raised me. And I'm gonna skip the story to say, that's why when it came time for me to audition for the role of Lutie Bell Gussie Mae Jenkins, they thought I had studied acting because I was so country. That's why I got the Tony Award. Wow.
But you see how that worked out in your favor, though, because you did it, you excelled in that role, really. I don't think had a choice.
I mean, I didn't know to study acting because music was our centerpiece. And my stepfather and mother, they taught us all they could about learning and how important that was.
Right.
But it was music. And of course, that made sense for every Black person, whether you studied it or not. It was music.
That's right.
Music saved you in the cotton fields and the jails and the abusive lives that we had. It was music. Our anointing, our mantle was music, gift from God.
Yes.
We was soaked up with that. I didn't never think about talking. And by the time I went up to audition for Lutie Bell for Pearlie, just to learn how to audition, because I didn't know how to audition, but I was already doing the lead in the Broadway musical Hair, and I was already replacing the lead, who happened to be Diane Keaton. And one of the Black girls reminded me that I got that from a recording session, and now that I was on Broadway, I should just start going up at things and maybe I could learn how to audition.
Right.
So I was trying to learn how to audition, but I got the part because I was so good at being country. But then after I got in, I said, oh my God, what is a Tony Award?
Right. Because, we normally only hear about Grammys and different things like that. So I can understand that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially starting out back then, a lot of these awards weren't as popular as they are now because some of that stuff was just starting out, like the Academy Awards and different.
Well, the Academy Awards and the Tony Awards had no Black people.
Right.
The Grammys did at that point.
Yeah.
So they weren't giving them to us.
Yeah, that's true. And then you only had like a few women or a few Black artists that would be nominated at that time, especially like you and Aretha Franklin, of course, and probably Natalie Cole or Stephanie.
Well, Natalie, I still miss Natalie.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
She would always ask me, Melba, do you have any project? I mean, so supportive, so beautiful. And of course, Aretha, she just broke she broke down the wall, babe. I don't care what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of the others you mentioned, well, you could mention somebody perhaps like Ruby Dee, an incredible actress. Of course, Ruby Dee did the role of Ludi Bell before I did as a comedy without music.
Okay.
But she got that piece because of Philip Rose, who opened the way with Raisin in the Sun for people like Diana Sands, Ruby Dee, Sidney Poitier, for their first time on Broadway to bring Black actors to Broadway. And he brought Pearly Victorious, which Ozzie Davis wrote for him and Ruby Dee, because nobody was writing anything for us.
Right.
And if they wrote them, you needed somebody like Philip Rose to have the courage, because it really took that to produce it and bring it to the theater. Well, for me, I was finally got nominated for Best Supporting Actress in a Musical, but they had to fight World War II to open up a place for me to be nominated. But the Tony Awards people, they did that.
Okay.
They wanted me to have this chance to at least run for it.
Right, right.
Because I would have been up against people like Lauren Bacall.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
How am I going to win against her? Or Helen Hayes? Oh, come on.
Exactly.
So they had to change the politics. They didn't have to. They wanted to.
Right.
Just to keep them from closing us down and moving us from theater to theater because of the racism. They had to fight for us. So a way was made for me to have a chance to run. And once again, not like I deserved it, or I didn't even know what a Tony Award was.
I'm sure, especially, and I remember seeing the clip that you put up the other day with Jack Cassidy calling the wrong name when you won.
Did you tell everybody Jack Cassidy was known for being drunk?
What was going through your mind at the time? Do you remember when he did that? What was
I didn't understand the categories, and I thought they had already called it anyway.
Okay.
So I was trying to get out. And then from a distance, backstage, in the wings there, I heard the audience screaming, "Melba Moore, Melba Moore!" I said, "Oh my God, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And one of the stage managers said, "No, come back this way, come back this way." So I'm coming to the edge of the curtain, and I'm seeing they're telling me, come on the stage, come on.
Right.
And they're giving this to me. And I said, "Oh my God." And I said, "No, I'm used to the theater being dark.
Yes.
It's television, so it's light." So, "Oh my God, there's Pearl Bailey." "Oh my God, there's Rex Harrison." "Oh my God, there's Barbara Streisand." I'm dying. I have no clue what I said. It was so exciting. Oh.
Yes. I could tell just by the expression on your face. You were like, "I'm happy, but I don't know what to, like." I don't even know what to do.
I'm not used to making speeches.
Right.
I can speak in front of the classroom and me and the kids and everything. So it was dumbfounding, wonderful.
Yes. You made a lot of history though, and I want to make sure I make that known because a lot of people don't give you the credit that you so deserve. Even in television and Broadway and music, all the way around. Even when you and Mr. Clifton Davis had your own TV show in the 70s, which was a great thing for Black people at that time as well, because Soul Train came out later on, but to see Black people singing and being in love and having that kind of thing was like, okay, wow, so this does exist. It's not just
somewhere except in real life.
That's right. That's right. I was talking to Miss Frida Payne, I think it was last week, and she told me that the show that
Did she tell you she's my girl?
No, she didn't say that, but she said she loved you though. She did say that. But she was telling me that the show she did in the 80s, Today's Black Women, that you were originally supposed to do, but you couldn't do it because for whatever reason, but so she ended up doing it at that time. I think it was in 81, 82, something like that. Do you recall that at all? The show?
Yeah. Was it a TV show? What was it?
Yeah, it was a TV show that she ended up doing. I think she said your ex-husband at the time brought her the idea because you couldn't do it, I guess, because of, you know, your obligations. So she ended up doing it at the time for like a year or two.
Yeah, well, first of all, Frida's always been one to try to pass things along to me too, and especially like when when I lost, you know, the use of my husband and my family and everything, like your team, you don't have it.
Yes.
She would always try to make sure that I was included in something that might be available. Always try to look out for me, and I try to look out for her too. So there've been people that just, you know, they're good people, and you take one step behind the other, even though you might slip a few times, because people are good and they'll help you.
Yeah, that's right. And I appreciated your story so much. I know we talked last time about, you know, how you had to rebuild. And I appreciated the fact of how you talked about being a reborn Christian and just your determination, period, because a lot of people that would have went through what you went through would have said, I'm done. But you said, no, I'm gonna get back up, I'm gonna continue on, and I'm gonna make music, and I'm gonna be successful at what I do. So I respect that a whole lot. It shows a lot about your character and your person, you know, itself. As far as your music though, you have a lot of albums over the years. I know you probably don't have a favorite song that you can choose, but do you have a favorite album of yours?
Well, one of the favorites is what's the name of this album? I know You Stepped in My Life is on it, and Lean on Me.
Yes. Let's see. That is, I think that's a self-titled album. Let's see.
And it's me with a painter's outfit.
Yeah, it says Melba, that one.
You do say Melba, huh?
Yeah, that's what it says too.
Another favorite though is, and another favorite songwriter producer of mine is Paul Lawrence.
Oh yes. I just was in talks with Paul to come on as well, because I knew his history with you guys, Hush Productions, and you know, being responsible for some of those hits with you and Kashif and Melba Moore, Meli'sa Morgan,
Meli'sa, yeah,
and Freddie Jackson as well, who you are really responsible for bringing in the industry a lot of.
Also, McFadden and Whitehead.
That's right.
Because our company managed them, and that's why they were able to do Ain't No Stopping Us Now. They did it under. Plus, I had a combination of the Bee Gees, McFadden, Whitehead, and whatever my style was. That really is the reason for the success of You Stepped Into My Life. But it's Gene McFadden and John Whitehead's arrangement of it, especially of that long disco intro with those beautiful guitar,
yes,
funky licks,
yes,
and those what I call them inner hooks of the arrangement that catch you before you even hear the voice, and whether you ever realize who's singing or not, you already love the song.
Yeah, that's right, because you have to sit there and marinate in the song first before your vocals even come on. Yeah. That's the best part about it. It's just like, as soon as the vocals come in, it's already over with. It's like, okay, you stepped into my life and I'm oh so happy. Like it that's it.
Are you a singer?
I sing at the church. That's it.
Okay, I hear that little vibrato. I hear it.
Yeah. It comes out sometimes. But you know what? I honestly surprise myself sometimes, you know, doing exactly what you said earlier, just listening to what works and what doesn't work, and, you know, trying things out, because I can sing things in the choir that I couldn't sing at home. And they're just like, how is that happening? But I'm singing with other people. So we're singing 3 parts, you know, so it's like, okay. Right. But, you know, that it happens like that. But yes, You Stepped Into My Life was definitely one of your big songs. Lean on Me, Falling was another great song.
That was written by McFadden and Whitehead.
All right, see?
No, but see, they wrote it for me. They tailor-made it for me. They made
Yes.
I could hold my little long note and everything.
That's right. I seen you try to do the challenge on Instagram for everybody to do the challenge, and I said, I don't think nobody's gonna get this way.
Well, just to keep them interested, whether they can do it.
You could try, because I know half of us will be on the ground by the 15-second mark, 10-second mark. But I think that's great though. Just a little bit more with Freddie Jackson is another one. That was a beautiful song. It really was, between you and Freddie. I mean, honestly, if I didn't know you two, I would have thought you were in love just by listening to the song.
But you know, we really do love each other.
Yeah, I believe it.
We really do. And it's not something we've ever tried to do.
Yes.
It just is like that.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
And if he wanted to, he could do stand-up.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
hilarious.
Oh,
I mean, there's nothing like joy to make you connect with someone. But I'm the same way. I have a joyous spirit.
Yeah, you are. And you have a very comedic spirit too. I love that about you, because you don't take things, you always make sure to correct things that are wrong, and you'll let somebody know the truth, but you don't take things so seriously. I like
I think we have so much, especially now, that can make us so serious and bogged down. You need joy.
Yes, yes.
Joy is my weapon.
Yes. I love that.
I remember that so many times. Freddie is such a connecting type of a personality, and communicating type of personality, and he's a caring personality, and he needs to do that, to be that.
Yes.
And I love it, because I'll be trying to say something or do something, and he'll be saying, wait a minute, I said, oh, okay. I said, okay. And then I said, oh, okay. Let me see if I can play this little trick on Freddie. And that's what we developed a relationship where we just, I guess, want to see each other rejoice and not just be happy, but maybe Black people are like that. I don't want to see you happy and rejoice. I want to see you fall out on the ground laughing.
That's right. That's right.
Then I'm happy, okay?
That's right. That's right.
Is that a comedic spirit? I think it is.
In a way, it might be. It might be. But I'm glad that you can have people like that in your career and in your life, because you guys have a personal relationship outside of music, I'm sure. And that duet was something that we needed, because it was just like the vocals were there, the music was there, everything was just right. And we miss a lot of duets like now. Really, it's like you don't even see a lot of duets happening. Yeah. Even when I think about that, I think about Meli'sa Morgan and Kashif's Love Changes remake, another one I love as well. I seen Freddie accept his award at the Black Music Honors, and he thanked you for helping him get started in his career. When you see those kind of things, what do you think about in your mind, just, having somebody give you gratitude for helping them start in the industry so, hard?
It always just kind of takes me back to, I'm not a person to go back and reminisce.
Yeah.
But then it takes me back to, oh yeah, I remember when I first met Freddie, and I first met him really as a songwriter, because he came with Paul Lawrence and Kashif and Meli'sa and a bunch of really, really, really talented people that worked, Lilo Thomas.
Yes, yes.
In a variety of different ways in songwriting and performing and producing. And the song he wrote was, see, I'm reminiscing already. Keeping my lover satisfied.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's so perky, and I thought, oh, I'm kind of like that. Yeah. I'm kind of cute too. Like that.
Yes, yes.
It's joyful. And when I hear him acknowledge me, I just remember different little moments where when he wrote Keeping My Lover Satisfied, we didn't know each other.
Right.
But what I remember is we just connected.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying, oh wow, well, aren't we blessed to have had that happen, so that we're in each other's lives?
Right.
And then we see what what kind of it leads to later on. And now he has a career, and I helped, and I sang background on "I'm His Lady." And I start remembering those wonderful things and how I participated, or how we participated in each other's lives. And we're not, giving credits. We're kind of sharing the love we have for each other.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, to me, I just really appreciate people who can give somebody their flowers. Like I said, especially somebody like you, because you are somebody who has really paved the way for a lot of people, and a wide majority of people might not know that, but you really have done it all, from stage to music to film to everything, you name it.
Well, and I'm glad for that too, because like you were saying, I'm here reminiscing. I'm not thinking about that. So I need somebody else. It needs to be done, or I won't get my kudos.
That's right. That's right.
I need you to do that. So I thank you.
Yes, yes, of course. Of course, like I said, you done television and film as well. One of my favorite roles from you is Bessie Cooley in The Fighting Temptations.
Well, did you like my hats?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I loved it, and I loved the wit of the character, because it was just so funny every time, especially when Cuba said, who wants to try to lead, and you said, I'll do it, and Miss Jackson looks over at you and you said, never mind.
You should have been called Mousy Cooley.
That's right. That's right. That was such a great movie to me, especially with gospel music included and everything. I love that. We didn't have a movie like that all the time. So yeah, I really love that role.
Now I'm gonna reminisce again. Remember the opening scene with that duet between Pastor Shirley Caesar and Ann Nesby?
Oh yes.
Is that ridiculous or what?
Oh yes. Oh yes. I love that. It was, and she had no business upstaging everybody like that.
And then, I mean, it can just go on and on and on throughout the film.
Yeah.
All the different music artists, Angie Stone, and Beyonce made everybody look short and ugly.
Yeah, yeah. And I loved it though, the way everybody got on her in the movie, because that was, of course, the role. And you turn around and say, ask her why she's keeping so many husbands from their home down at that nightclub she's singing at. Mm-hmm. Oh man, it was a beautiful thing to see, though. All those singers together. What was that like for you on set, just to be around all those great singers? Some of them you had worked with already, probably.
So awesome, but I think it was even more awesome for me because I really feel like they respected the church. It just wasn't a commercial product where you put a whole bunch of people in there. Because see, like I'm of Pastor Shirley. She don't play with Jesus.
That's right.
And neither do I couldn't say nothing because I'm in the mouth, but I can say thank you that you respected the church the way I think it should have been, plus the incredible artists that were there. If it was, I'm laughing because Eddie Levert.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
He has the loudest speaking voice in the world.
Yes, yes.
So I'd be coming down the hall, coming to the rehearsal. I hear him laughing all the way down the hall. And his laugh is infectious. So I'd be laughing. I don't even know what I'm laughing at. To tell you how it was working in that cast, right?
Oh, man.
And since I'm saved, it still probably has that kind of effect. I go where God allows me to go, or shows me to go. So I watch a lot of movies and stuff. So I didn't know. I know his father, but I didn't know who Cuba Gooding Jr. was.
Right, right.
So when he was standing there directing the choir in one of the scenes we were rehearsing to shoot, he stood there flat-footed and did a back over flip. I was like, oh my God.
Like, really, right.
Then if I could tell you, if I could remember some of the other people, and there's so many people in it, but with the young rap artists, the talent was phenomenal.
Yes, yes.
all the different genres.
Yes, all those voices made sense for what was going on. I put it like that because sometimes that you have a show or a song and it's like it doesn't match, or it doesn't go together. But those.
Oh, you know what you remind me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were essentially the music producers of the film.
Okay.
And they were trying to get the lady who played the tambourine.
Yes. I can't think of her name, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
To play another beat that she was beating. She only played one beat.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was the right beat, it was fine, but they were trying to get her to do something else. And I happened to be in the studio at the time they were cutting her, and they was in, we'll do it one more time. I guess I'm telling you, doing that film was just amazing.
Yeah, I could tell that it looked like the atmosphere was it was right. One of my favorite songs was the He Still Loves Me from there, especially the way they put it in the movie, but I like the single version too. And when you did Rain Down on Me, because you coming in at the end with the shout, that rain down on me. That's it. It's a closer right there.
Oh gosh, yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, you of course done other work. I did see your movie on BET a few years. Well, I think it was a year or two ago. The Christmas movie.
Oh yes.
Yes, and you played the grandmother, I believe it was, right? Yeah. So I thought that was a great, thing to see you come back, and well, not back because you already been here, but
I know, in and out.
Yeah, to see you on TV again, I say.
Yes.
But are you working on any more roles or anything like that in the future?
Actually, what I'm doing now, I'm working with a team of people to start to create some things that a lot of people don't know what I do or what I should be doing.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like auditioning for people right now. I feel like I should put together a team and then hire the people that I need to do what I know I do well.
Okay.
And do some pieces, they'll probably be dramedy pieces.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll have humor because that's just what I naturally am.
Right.
For television and for video. And I'm working on some pieces that I want to collaborate with some other artists to do some pieces for theater.
Okay.
I want to be in charge of them, so I do what I know to do now.
Right.
I mean, now that I've seen Ludi Bell, I kind of know what I can do because I didn't study. I haven't gone through the regular systems to really know where I belong. I kind of do now.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense, though. I think you already know now at this stage in your life exactly what you can, and I won't say can't do because you can always learn something.
Things I can't do or shouldn't do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste the time now anymore trying to do what somebody else says they think is great for me, because in most cases I've tried to do them. Neither I didn't get called for the part or it didn't work. So I know certain things do not work for me.
Yes. Now, of course.
Now, I'm a little closer to the end than before, so I'm not going to let them waste my time.
Well, I definitely, hope that you have a lot left in you, though.
Thank you. Me too.
We just lost Miss Cicely Tyson, but I couldn't be sad, honestly, because she was 96. She lived her life,
And she lived it giving to other people.
That's right.
Providing opportunities for other people. It wasn't just for her.
Yeah, that's true. So what makes you happy or joyous now at this point in your life?
Oh, besides waking up?
Yes, besides waking up.
And going out and remembering to put my mask on so I don't come back dead. Well, I don't have too much to do, so I can concentrate or figure out what God's order is. Yeah. The things that he has me do. There's a lot of Zooming right now.
Yeah.
You might be too young to remember Aretha Franklin's record, Who's Zooming Who?
Oh, no, I remember. And she had a Freeway of Love on there, too.
Oh, I love that song. In my pink Cadillac.
Right. That's right.
Uh, well, there's so much Zooming. I want to wake up and see who am I Zooming today, Jesus? And because there's so many people in that format, regardless of what they're doing,
Mhm.
I get a lot to do it. It's very diverse. The most important thing generally is what do I look like?
Right.
So that means I get to shop. And it's fairly simple. I'm grooming my daughter to assist me now because all of her work has been shut down and she was in LA and she'll go back.
Okay.
But essentially, I get to be with her and she assists me in everything. So I get to have some help
Mhm.
from somebody that I know and, and somebody that I'm grooming. Not, I mean, it's more than just somebody that you hire. I think
Right.
it's different.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you're doing business, you want somebody who knows what they're doing as well. So
Yeah, but in this case, like if they don't, and I do, then I have the opportunity to groom and teach her. And I'm a good teacher. I'm trained at teaching.
yeah,
So there are a couple of different reasons why I appreciate that, beside the fact that it's my family.
that's right.
There's a lot of things combined in that kind of lets me relate to the human family
Okay.
and how I relate to building this next part of my business
Hmm.
and how you collaborate with different people you know, people you don't know, but from your own base. So I guess I'm enjoying building and growing.
Yeah, yeah, because you really are whether you well I think you know it, but you really are creating a new lane for yourself at this point,
Yes.
especially in the online world because a lot of people are now saying, well, who is that? And you know you posting these clips and this history and stuff, and they're like, oh, Miss Moore, we never knew that. So
Right. So you can take what you've been and stuff that you've done
hmm,
that should have been in the past or might have been in the past,
right,
and now it can be a foundation for now because we can present it to people, something of interest now.
yes,
You can finish laying the foundation for whatever's coming in now and in the future, which none of us knows. But you know, I like to say God is going to ask you, well, what did you do that you had left over that I gave you? What did you
that's right.
do with what I gave you? And it's kind of like that.
That's a good one. I might have to use that. That's,
Leftovers.
that's right. Of course, I'm gonna let you go in a minute, but I gotta ask you about this
It's
verses.
all right. Look like I'm having a good time, huh?
Yeah, yeah. As long as you have the good time, that's what matters. But I gotta ask you about this versus situation. Of course, I know you saw them, and I know some people have asked you about them. But are you considering doing it if they, you know, come to you or you know?
Absolutely. And I already picked out at least one person I want to do it with.
Oh, okay. Well, who is it then?
Stephanie Mills.
There you go. There you go. Another a great legend who has done stage work and a catalog of great music, who is I think underrated, honestly. So I think that would be awesome. I think that would be awesome. So
I thought we should hear from the little people.
that's right.
Both of us as little people.
That's right. I never knew that until I never saw her live, but I saw a video where she was standing next to somebody my height and she was so small. And I said, wow, you never know. You know,
Right. And our spirits are so big. If you see us by ourselves, we look like we're big people.
yeah. Well, your voice is big, so it makes up for it. So,
Right. Our voices are big. Everybody thinks I'm really tall if they haven't seen me.
but what is your normal height though, without heels?
I'm 5'5".
Okay. That's not that short though. It's short, but it's not that short. You know, we have to add that.
He said it's short, but.
Yeah, we have to add that extra. It's not short, but it's short.
Well, when you see me, I look better in heels.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think because I'm taller,
Right.
you just have a little stature or something.
Yeah.
It depends on how you're built. I'm very petite. I just look so little.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good thing though. At least it keeps you. At least you're in shape. With.
Yeah. Well, and see, I would not normally be thin.
Right.
I would be fat and short. That would not be good.
Right. Especially trying to sing. Imagine that.
Well, no, maybe it's okay singing, but if you want to try to move or something or walk around or wear clothes that look pretty.
Yeah.
Because you got to stand flat-footed and sing and get away with it. But
yeah. But I don't know. I can't imagine you stepped into my life and being heavy set and trying to move. It might not work.
Me neither. We want to put a little step in it, right?
That's right. I saw you get down on stage before on the videos. So I know when that music hits, you want to.
Don't fool nobody. So I can't dance. Every once in a while, I get inspired and twirl around. I don't twerk or anything like that, but I mean, I twerk. I don't dance.
That reminds me of Miss Evelyn Champagne King when she I spoke to her before, and she said,
no, Evelyn would squat on you and do she'd do little calisthenics on you.
She had me dying because she said, when she performs and she drops it down and all that kind of stuff, she said, yeah, I feel like I'm 16 on stage, but when I get off, it's something different.
So, okay, where's the paramedics?
That's right. Does that music ever just feel so good to you that you almost want to start doing, something crazy?
I think that's what happens, especially if I'm in good health and I'm eating right and throat is everything. I'm not having no problems. Because the music feels good and you just want to enjoy yourself. So you try to do something, I don't even know I don't know what I'll be doing. I want to do something,
That's right.
But I'll tell you, I can't dance. I'm not no dancer, but I'm healthy.
Look, join the club. They always say, oh, get up and dance, Tony, get up. And I'm like, look, only thing I can give you is probably a 2-step from here and there. That's about it, because I can't give you nothing else.
We'll get a 2-step.
Yeah.
Once in a while, the body will just go and, it'll be able to do something else too.
Yeah. When it gets down in you, you want to do a lot of things, but it's like, okay, I know better.
I don't want to hurt myself.
Oh man, but this has been wonderful just speaking with you though. I'm glad to see your face. I'm glad to see you still, here with us singing and being beautiful and discovered by a new generation. I love that. If you could just describe yourself in only 3 words, what would you say they were?
Hopeful, happy, and holy.
All right, there you go now. I love it. Well, before you go, Ms. Moore, just let everybody know where they can find you on your social media.
Oh, sure. Okay. Instagram at Melba 1 More, Melba number 1 More. My website, melbamore.com. All the music outlets, if you want to get my music, iTunes, Amazon, and all the streaming platforms.
Okay. All right.
I think that's it. That's all I can remember right now.
That's right. Don't worry. If come back later, we'll update it.
Thank you.
No problem at all. And thank you so much for being here with me today. I really enjoyed this. It's good to laugh and talk with people you can't see otherwise. So it's
right.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Well, I hope you know that I've enjoyed it. And please tell your audience, don't change a thing. I love you and I appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. And hopefully you can come back soon and we got some new music again and new opportunities and we'll talk some more and laugh some more.
All right. You stay well. Be well.
Thank you. Do the same till I see you again.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.